Hello, my name's Greg Bland. Um, I'm wanting to do a little testimonial here about selling your house without an agent. Um, I had some help doing this from Rock, Florida, and I'm going to give a little background here, a little disclosure. He and I are good friends. We've been hanging out for close to 20 years now, and we play disc golf together about once a week, and our families have grown up together, and so we've spent a lot of time together, and so I've heard him uh, talking a lot about the industry of real estate, and I've sold and bought houses using agents. My dad was an agent. My mom was an agent. My brother's still an agent, and yeah, so I've got a little background. Also, I'm also a landscape architect, so I know enough about property law and contracts enough to be dangerous. So I've kind of felt like, hey, I probably, the dumber people have done this without horrible ramifications. So I thought, why not? And so this happened about a year ago. I uh, wanted to sell our house and move back to another house that we were selling. Long story, but we wanted to get out of the house, a bigger house, and downsize, and I wanted to save some money. I'm kind of cheap as far as I'm frugal with the money. So realizing what all's involved, and if it's going to save, in this case, it was going to save between $20,000 and $40,000 that would just go out the door to an agent. And so I was as a self-employed person, I've got the flexibility to deal with some of the legwork, do some of the marketing stuff. I've marketed my own business, so I'm kind of felt like I kind of knew what I was doing, and motivated. That's a serious chunk of cash I wanted to save, and I could justify spending several months nonstop doing that, which obviously I was doing other things at the same time. So yeah, I was motivated, wanted to move on from that house, kind of reap some of the rewards of the gains from it, and not sacrifice them to paying fees that just didn't need to be paid. Um, so we got into it, started doing it, and realizing pretty quickly that we didn't know all the just basic concrete how-to steps. And so it was good with Rock saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be there to coach you along the way. I'll give you some pointers." And he busted out right off the bat kind of a checklist of, "Hey, here's the info you need to pull together. Have this and this and this. Measure this, quantify this, have utility information about the." I mean, there's all kinds of really good things that we could put into a packet so that whenever somebody came to actually see the house, we could just put that in their hand and say, all right, here's everything you need to know about this property. And it was that was that was a very good, that took several days of work to put that together. But if I didn't have that direction, that would have been tough. So um, the other thing was I really wasn't kind of prepared for when you put the sign out and start getting calls. A lot of them are going to be real estate agents, and just kind of he Rock kind of talked me through how to deal with these guys. These guys are trained professionals. They will they will work your emotions and your work all the different angles and try and it yeah. So he kind of coached me on how to deal with what are you going to say when this person calls and says this. We were I wasn't completely against the idea of compensating an agent. If an agent came with a buyer, I'm all for compensating them for that. I think that was a so we were open to that. um, and yet, like I said, the process is emotional. I don't think people give it enough credit. Everybody thinks, when you're not in the process, you're kind of like, oh, I can handle that. I can keep my emotions out of it. When it's your home and it's large sums of money that you're dealing with, your spouse, it gets a little tense. So, having kind of a game plan was very helpful. And yeah, those agents will call and they'll make you think you're crazy. I had family and friends, kind of questioning my sanity. Are you sure you really want to do that? That's really pretty risky. So we got into it, and we realized that we were kind of in this kind of a good window of opportunity. Um, and I think it's before the kind of at the end of the season, school's about to start, and we really wanted to get the sale happening. We thought that was probably the best time to sell, so I wanted to jumpstart the process a little bit. A few weeks in, I was kind of like, we're not getting much traction here, so I decided to put I researched getting onto the Multilist service through a flat fee agent, and so for just a few $100, you can get a broker will actually put you on the Multilist for a pretty nominal fee, for a few months, and so you can put your pictures on there, you put your the full write up, so it just looks like like you're listed by an agent. And so all of a sudden, when that hit the Multilist, the agent started calling, and they had a higher comfort factor knowing that they would be compensated, since I think we put that in the listing that that we were paying the buyer's agent. So so it was a partial savings, I guess, for us, but because we weren't willing to kind of wait it out and for the full savings and go for a buyer that didn't have the agent. So technically we did use that service, but it was nice that they didn't they stuck to their word. It was just that flat fee. When it sold, we told them, and then they pulled it off the market. So and that was the whole deal with them. Once we did get a serious buyer, told the agent, yeah, we would compensate them. So they showed it. We negotiated with them. Rock was advising me, on his end. We were kind of like, hey, I think this is where their motivations are. He's saying, yeah, let's hold your ground, because the other agent, they're looking out for that client, for their buyer, and so they're trying to get them the best deal that they can. So we've kind of got to hold our ground, and the psychology of all that gets a little tricky. So that was an interesting process. Once you get once there's a contract, you've got to go through the whole inspections and requests for repairs and all that. And so you got to, at any point in there, I've watched, when Rock was doing the sales thing way back in the day, I heard so many stories about deals falling apart because somebody wouldn't, repair some seal around a door somewhere, some leaky faucet, and everybody gets all upset. So it's like kind of getting that coaching along about all those things was very helpful. So in the end, we go to the closing office. They'd closed, I think I'm from out of town, so they closed separately. We went and signed all the papers and just kind of walked out, with, the paperwork that said, hey, this money's going to be deposited into your account and you're free and clear to go. It was a good feeling. So that kind of for us, that was a debt-free moment. Got us completely out, and we're just blown away that we could save that much money by taking on, which at the time it seems like a lot of headaches, but after the fact, when it's all said and done, it's great. So It's not for everybody. You want to have, at least a little background with business and, doing, these sort of deals, and feel you need some confidence, um, knowing a little bit about what you're doing. So it's not for everybody, but it really worked for us. Again, Rock's a good buddy of mine, and he's really helped us out. So I want to just give him a big shout out and say thanks for thinking outside the box for us. And yeah, we're gonna if we do it again, we'll probably follow those same steps. So take care, and I want to encourage you take the course if you get a chance. Get the checklists. Super helpful. So, all right, that's all I got, and y'all have a great day.